Okay, welcome today to another tutorial. Today's tutorial is on the juicer, this icon here on my desktop. Um, I'm going to go ahead and open that up for you. It looks as though they're emulating Saturn, the planet, with its icon. Kind of cool. So this program I've been using for, I don't know, the last 5 years or so, just on various projects. It's made by a manufacturer of the name of digitaljuice.com, and it's really helpful. It basically gives you the tools that you need to make corporate broadcast, commercial spots, just anything related to video production. The juicer is it. So with that being said, I was actually just going to get some music for a highlight reel that I'm putting together for a student. So in the categories here, it says music and sound effects. I'm going to double click on that. And I had pre-purchased I guess you can call it, see here you've got different options with music. I own the sound effects option, the music box, stack tracks, and backtracks no longer exists. It's they've been around for a long time, so as the years progress, they come up with new names for their stuff. So stack tracks was another name that they used, and I owned a couple of the stack tracks that I used in some stuff. It's cool. What's cool about it is that it's theme orientated. So if you're searching for something, it's easy to find stuff. Like they've got serious stacks, and that's like that real orchestral type of music that's like dun 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 dun, with the horns and all that kind of stuff. So like military type of environments, that's serious stacks. So they've got music to fit every theme. Today we're looking for some sports related music, so I'll go ahead and like pick some of that here with you, and I think I may have something here that I could use in relation to that. I'm not sure if I have any though. See, they actually have a sports stacks in the old stack tracks volumes in which we're looking, but I never really purchased that one. So I'm going to go to Music Box, the newer version of the themed content music, by the way, which is all royalty free. Meaning that you can use it and not be sued. It's always a plus. So what I'm looking for is, it's nice because they have a breakdown here of how you can find things, like a little filter, and the duration is one that I'm going to use, and I'm going to look for full length songs because these highlight films are around 4 minutes or so, sometimes longer. So I'm going to need a couple songs actually. Tempo, I'm looking for like medium. Actually, let's just go all. We'll just do all, because I mean there's parts that I might want to slow down and speed up. So yeah. Vocals, I'm gonna say none on the vocals. I don't want any vocals at all. I think it's a little too distracting. Now the style, so here you go, right? Pop, orchestral, international, electronica. So this has got to be kind of upbeat. So I'm gonna say electronica is one of the areas, and maybe even orchestral, and pop, rock, sports, techno, and I think that's good. That's a good way to start. Theme you could do also, like I think there's a sports theme. I'll just choose that. And what it's doing is it's finding the music in relation to the filter that you're using as searches, just like a search engine on the internet. Kind of cool. Everything is made that way now. Okie doke. So I'm gonna go. Let's listen to a couple of these. I'll turn on the volume so it doesn't obstruct your hearing. Let's see. To Defeat You, version B. Alright. Yeah, that could work. See, what's nice about this is that once you've already done the search, you know that any of these songs will work. You know, this is pretty powerful. Also, what's cool about the Digital Juice layout with the Juicer 3 is that you can, when you export these, you know, you could test it without the baseline, you know, take off certain levels. You know, like maybe it was, you know, depending on what you're looking to do. That's one of the benefits of Digital Juice and the Juicer. They give you layered tracks. Okay, so that one's kind of cool. I'll be thinking about that one. That's an option to feature you, and they got different versions. You know, like this one here is a little different, version A, they say. Okay, intense, big. See, they got keywords that describe each song. Kind of cool. Either way, I think any of these will be good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pick one of these. So by doing that, you can see the duration 316. That'll work. I'm gonna drag it over here. Okay. And I don't need to hear it again. And in this scenario, I'm going to, just for lack of, or actually for example purposes, I'll show you the settings on these. So you click settings and go over to your left side over here. And I want these to be at 48, because on the output, maybe I'll export it at 44 kilohertz. But initially I want them at 48, because that's just the rate that I'm working at. Movies and stuff is a lot higher, like 96. So, but not all the time. Layers. Okay, so you can export the layers. So that's kind of useful. In this case, we'll do that just to see what that looks like. So one file, output location, you know, you can verify where you want it to go. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the folder that, or on the hard drive and in the folder that I'm working this project on, which I believe is the K drive in my scenario. And let's see. Yep, men's 2010. And that's the soccer season. That's what I was working with. Okay. So I'll say okay. And you can export these as waves or AIFs. Also a nice thing for like Mac, you know, and PC. Sometimes, you know, for those of you that know that AIF is more like for a Mac setup. So I'll say okay, because that's the settings that I want. And I'm gonna actually, let's pick a couple more. Okay, see, this is, I like the start of this. It's interesting. I mean, this is just all opinion based, but you know, when you got it, you got it. Yeah, this could be cool. Sports highlight film, you know. All these are really good actually. I really like Digital Juice. They have just really good, like everything is updated. They work with artists that are you know, current in what they do, so you always get quality from Digital Juice. Okay, so I'm gonna add that to the batch list. I'm just gonna bring that one in, you know, default, no layers, just all the way it came. That's fine. Ready, set, go. I'm gonna need at least 4 songs, so let's turn that up a little bit. This is a little too, like, that's not working for me. I like this, but it might be a little kind of slow for soccer highlight. This is kind of cool, though. This is maybe not. I think that when it breaks in with the bass and the drums, I think this actually might be acceptable. You know, we want to keep people interested in what they're seeing and stuff. Yeah, that's kind of cool. We're gonna just add that. I may or may not use it, but okay. Keep moving version, blah blah blah. Fast beat, speed, quick, fast. It's kind of, see, it's kind of cool. Now I also know that this person that I'm working with, I know that they're a fan of hip hop, so if I could find something like that's hip hop orientated, they would probably like that. I remember that when I stumbled upon Digital Juice, I was like, wow, like, you know, like how easy now is it to get music for your productions that you just need, and you don't have necessarily the budget to pay someone to make something custom, you know? I like that. I'm taking that one too. Breakdown. Can't. I don't like that. See, that's what's cool about that, you know, maybe just by removing that now, I might like what I hear. Not bad. Maybe for another project. ESI. I think I've actually heard this on like another station already, so I try to stay away from that. Once I've heard it already, I'm not really trying to use it again. Alrighty. 4 songs. That sounds good to me for now. So just to keep the lesson moving, and these are actually the tracks that I need, and this will work for me. So there you have it. I'm going to go ahead and render all of those by hitting render selected. I'm going to check the settings on these real quick just to make sure that they're going to the right place. You know, you can set your output location there. I think that should be fine. I'll find them. Render selected. I had already loaded all the discs that come with the juicer and also Music Box, so I can just render directly instead of like inserting DVD discs and stuff and waiting for the render. I just did all that ahead of time, so you know, everything is faster. So I'm rendering actually 4 songs, as you can see the render bar and stuff. So this is a free gift to you all out there. If you didn't know where you can get music for your videos, now you do. And I would love to see a check from Digital Juice. So maybe I will. Sometimes, you know, you get what you ask for. Okay. Also, if you guys have any questions about, you know, the process and Digital Juice and the juicer, feel free to comment and ask me some questions there. I'm real good at getting back to people on that. So, okie doke. So it opens up like a, you know, opens up the folder actually in which it saved the files, like as a default. I have it set that way. So that's kind of cool. Just so you guys can see, like, you know, where the tracks go once you've rendered them and stuff like that. Okay, 2010. Here's the one. See, this is the one we laid out in layers. So here's all the layers. Okay. So that is how you can use the juicer for music for your productions. That's just one facet, by the way, of the juicer. You can use the juicer for animations. You can use the juicer for like fonts. You can go to digitaljuice.com and look at everything that they have that is available. Good stuff, you know, just kind of simple but effective stuff for that will take your video productions to the next level. Okie doke, this is John, and have a good day.